So I was studying furniture and product design in a London college called Ravensbourne, and I was struggling to define my final project. One of the tutors knew my predecessor here, John Small, and I contacted him and came to the practice, and at the time the office was working on Neem, and it was designing all the library furniture, the library seating, and so that really set my project. It was all about the bibliothèque, the library, and designing a library systems. And then the office decided they were going to set up an industrial design or furniture design team, and I joined in May '95. Never sort of looked back since. So in a way, yeah, the connection was through my final project. Half of our time is spent on working on architectural projects. The other half is working with our own client base on products, furniture, lighting, building components. In terms of when we're working with the architectural team, sometimes that can be designing bespoke versions of products that we've developed, or maybe it is actually site-specific elements. You know, as soon as you're designing a global product, you've got to meet global certifications. You've got to really look at the supply chain, the manufacturing, the packaging, the life cycle. So, you know, there are aspects of that which, of course, are embodied within architecture, but it is a different mindset. We started to look at a series of projects that had relevance to the practice. And one of those was designing an airport seating system for Vitra. And Norman was, we're working closely with him to develop an airport seating system, but using all the experience of the office. Airline for Vitra epitomizes our approach, is that products have a greater impact on the environment than buildings, because you're producing them in tens, hundreds of thousands, even more, millions. And we realized that for a product of that nature, components needed to arrive separately and needed to be assembled on site, with single tools. So you can use local workforces to assemble them. And then ensuring that all the materials are separate, that you're not using composites, that components are replaceable. That was something that was launched in 1998, and I think we've always held on to those values. We work in many different ways. We get approached by manufacturers with a brief. We develop something for a building that might turn into a product, but then what we also do is we develop products internally to quite a finite point, and then we take them to a manufacturer, and the flow light was one of those. The flow light came from observation, just looking at the way people interact with lights, the way they use them, and the idea of the thing that you touch and rotate, and the way that the switch sits on the head. Everyone understands it as an object, and it has that quiet sort of simplicity, quiet silhouette that almost disappears in a space, but is kind of quietly clever. We developed all the FF&E for the building, developing the sit-stand desking and office systems, developing built-in furniture, the pantry elements, food dispensing, so we can in a way dovetail with the architectural team and work side by side, but bring in all the knowledge and expertise from sort of product design with our client base, and all the techniques and materials and processes that we come into contact with. So Bloomberg, even before the building had been designed, we were already working with the client as to how they worked and how they wanted to work into the future. And yeah, the desking system and desking layout was developed in tandem with the building. Since the inception of the practice, Norman has always had, he's always had a passion for product and furniture design, and buildings will become more intelligent and need systems like this. It'll need to monitor not only the light quality, but the air quality, well-being within the environment, and so that you can control zones within a building in terms of, climate control, in terms of light, in terms of temperature. Those are it's been a huge challenge, but I think that those are sort of projects where we can actually make a difference.